ora and welcome to Chapter 6. In this tutorial, we will take a closer look at how to add, rotate and scale images. Again, the templates you will use have already predefined settings. We will give you the necessary tools to be able to quickly add images to the templates and make sure you understand how images and frames work in InDesign. First, let's find an image frame where we want to add a picture. As we have learned in previous chapters, we will have to create the element. Press Ctrl, Shift on your keyboard and click on the element with your mouse. Now let's select the image frame where you want to add your picture. To insert the image, go to File, click Place, and select the image you want to use. If you are more keyboard orientated, you can simply press Ctrl D. The file locator window will appear. Now navigate to the location where you have saved your images. Once you have found your image, press Open and the picture will be inserted into the frame. Here's the deal. Now you will have to work with two elements, the image itself and the frame containing it. Let's try to clarify what this means. Ensure you have your selection tool, black arrow, selected by clicking on it in the toolbox. When we drag the handles of the selected object, we will resize the frame. The frame works like a mask and covers the extra parts of the image if it is too big to be fully shown in the design. In other words, by dragging the edges of the frame, we are cropping the image without changing the image itself. With the selection tool activated, you can also move your image around and reposition your frame and your image anywhere you want to put it. Let's return to the original design. As this is a pre-made template, you should keep all the elements to the brand standards. Now we will discover a new tool, the Direct Selection tool, represented by a white arrow. Click on the icon in the toolbox or press A on your keyboard. When we hover over an image now, you will notice an extra border appearing. This border indicates the real borders of the image contained in the frame. As you notice when we go over the image, our cursor turns into a hand. Now we can click and hold our mouse and move the picture around inside our frame. Let's have a short recap. The selection tool, black arrow, will reposition and resize the frame of your image. The direct selection tool, represented by the white arrow, will reposition the image inside the frame. To continue with our exercise, let's resize and reposition the image in a way that is appealing to the eye. As we have some extra space here, we will need to resize it to fill our frame. Click and hold one of the corners, in this case the bottom right corner, and move it. You can now see that the image is resizing, but you will also notice that the image is changing its proportion. To keep its proportion intact, press Shift while resizing the image. Now the image will resize while keeping its original proportions, and it won't become distorted. Then release your mouse and the Shift key to finish. To move the image inside the frame, just press and hold your mouse and move the image around until you have found a desired position. This operation works in the same way as the hand tool that we learned earlier. You can also see when holding down the mouse, InDesign will give you a preview of the whole picture. This will help you frame it properly. Let's learn more about the Direct Selection tool. As seen in previous chapters, once a tool is selected, the control bar will have a list of options related to the tool we are using. In this case, one important tool is the Rotation tool, which can be found here. The value contained now is minus 4.5 degrees, which, as you can see, rotates the image the same way as the frame is rotated. If you need to change it, you can press on these little arrows and rotate the picture. But in this case, the original value was great, so we'll keep it as is. There is more you can do with the Direct Selection tool, but we will discuss that in the next chapter. Now, one last thing. We have learned that when working with images, you will have to deal with two elements, the frame and the image itself. There is an important trick that you may need to use. To resize the frame and image at the same time, click outside and deselect everything. Now click on your selection tool, black arrow, or press V. Select the frame containing the image, click on a corner, and press and hold on your keyboard Ctrl and Shift. Now when you resize the frame, you will notice the image will be scaled up or down at the same time. Once you have reached the right size, let the mouse, Ctrl and Shift keys go, and your image and frame have been resized at the same time. One final note for this chapter. You may notice that your images do not look very sharp on your screen. If that is the case, you don't have to worry. InDesign comes with settings that will render your images on a low resolution to ensure the program performs the best. But if you like to see your images in full resolution, you can simply go to View, Display Performance, High Quality Display, and your images will be rendered in full resolution. Well done! Now you have a better understanding of how to work with frames and images. Before starting the next chapter, we suggest you take some time to get familiar with these new skills.